In a career spanning half a century, Elton John has sold close to 300 million records and still sells out stadiums to this day. But behind the flamboyant showman lies a man who has struggled to make peace with a loveless father, almost succumbed to a multitude of crippling addictions, and battled to find the love that has so often eluded him. This is the story of the 10 greatest moments to shape Elton's life. Guided through by our narrator, Elton, using the words spoken by the real Elton. And he's on his way to experiencing his 4th major life-changing event. Los Angeles, 1975. Elton John is in town to play the biggest shows of his life.
In 1975, Elton John was, I believe, the biggest star in the world. He was gigantic.
I now want to present a proclamation which declares this week Elton John Week.
Elton turned up on his gold golf buggy with his star for Sunset Boulevard and posed sitting in front of his star.
Right. There it is. And I'm very, very honored, being British, to have my star on Hollywood Boulevard.
Elton's also flying in 2 special guests, his mother Sheila and stepfather Fred.
She's much more cleverer than you or I or anybody else put together. She constantly amazes me because she's always right, you know. I mean, if I meet somebody new, she'll go, "Oh, don't like him." And I go, he's all right, or, you know, he's trustworthy. And she'll always be right. She can, you know, smell a rat from the word go.
Does he need you still for any kind of emotional help?
Well, I suppose like all sons need mothers, really. We're pretty close, really, yes.
But not everyone is here.
I think the fact that his father wasn't there had a lot to do with his insecurity. It would have been fantastic if he had been in touch with him when he started to make success.
But much worse, Elton's 4-year love affair with manager John Reid is on the rocks.
Elton John and John Reid, everything was breaking down.
They'd been together for 4 years at that point. With Elton, that was his first relationship, really, or his first big relationship.
There was tension, there was sadness, and there was unresolved issues. There was a lot going on.
As he approaches the next critical day of his life, Elton is exhausted.
The original recording contract called for 2 albums per year and touring the world and doing concerts. So it all built up, I think.
A day or 2 before we did Dodger Stadium, Elton invited me over to the house.
It's Elton's 4th big day.
His mom was there and his grandmother was there, but I think the pressure was building.
Elton recalls his feelings from that time.
My life, his life, was crazy. And the pressure, I mean...
There's no good in having everything to yourself and having nobody to share it with, because why bother?
It's not being able to get your feelings across. I mean, this is so difficult. It's not being willing to deal with them.
We were the biggest thing going at the time, you know. And then all of a sudden, Elton decides to try and top himself.
took some pills, and dove into the pool. Whatever darkness he was going through, there was an emptiness that was there, a hole that couldn't be filled. Right?
Quick, help me, Reg! Reg!
That was very selfish and a very stupid thing to do, and a very sort of, look, I'm falling apart, and I just wanted more sympathy. There are times when you feel like, oh, bugger it, I know, I can't cope with this anymore, but you have to.
What are you doing?
I'm going to be dead in an hour.
What do you mean you're going to be dead in an hour? Oh, we might as well all go home then.
His grandmother was there, and she said, "Oh, I suppose we all have to go home now."
Take us some pills.
What sort of pills?
Clearly, in front of those people, he didn't mean to die.
Don't fall asleep, mate. Come on.
I think his mother did say to Caleb at the time, "Oh, Caleb, can you go and sort him out?"
Come on, open your eyes.
We were all just shocked, you know, and there was a point there where we all didn't know, is this the end? Are we going to do Dodger Stadium?
I really don't feel he wanted to end his life. I think he just couldn't find a way to let the pressure out, and it just really got to him.
We were all shattered, you know, and then finally it pulled through, you know, they pumped his stomach and this, that, and the other, and then, okay, you're on. Okay, jump in the limousine, you're on.
And the next day, we were at Dodger Stadium. Two days, sold out, 55,000 people.
Everyone is tense. Sheila and Fred, Elton's lyricist Bernie Taupin, and John Reed. Despite the split, he stays on as Elton's manager. They needn't have worried. The concert, including Elton's parody of celebrity divas, The Bitch Is Back, is a triumph. Dressed for success in head-to-toe sequins, the star's voice is on top form, as is the band's, including bass player Kenny Passarelli.
Davy Johnston, Caleb Quaye, everybody was on the mark. And then you've got Elton, who's just like at the helm.
Guesting on The Bitch Is Back is Billie Jean King, tennis star and Elton's close friend. Like Elton, in 1975, she too was hiding her true self from the world.
I think they had this relationship as understanding the frustration of not really being who they were at the time. And I think she was a huge influence and reinforcement.
Elton has delivered the performance of a lifetime.
The Dodger Stadium concert is a tribute to the strength of the guy, really.
Okay, as long as you want us to play for, all right?
The show must go on, you know, it's one of those attitudes.
But in reality, Elton's just papering over the cracks. Years later, Sheila admitted the worry about Elton had been terrible, even this early on.
To go through that trauma of seeing her son throw himself in the swimming pool as if to commit suicide, it must have been a real turmoil for her, and she must have been absolutely drained.
And almost a year to the day since Elton's suicide attempt, his next big moment is about to change everything for the star.
The world was not ready for this, and the business part of it was frightened of it.